get on.
The only living space on the first floor is going to be memory care. I have worked in a standalone memory care for off and on 7 years. This is hands down one of the most beautiful designs I've ever seen. I've brought in people, they literally get choked up when they see it. And I know if you've seen a lot of communities like me, the assisted living with memory care, you kind of see the drop off in some buildings where your assisted living looks like a fabulous resort and hotel. Then you walk into memory care and it's like, wah, wah. It just kind of feels like a Medicaid nursing situation. It's exactly opposite here. They've really almost put more thought, I think, into memory care than they did the assisted living portion, even though the entire design is fantastic. This building is the 5th generation of all the Elans, so I think they kind of ironed out all the wrinkles of everything. So from an operations perspective, Shannon will speak to, but from a sales perspective, the residents love it. I just now this week got the opportunity to show actions prospective residents, and to see their reaction is amazing. It really is good. It gives you a different perspective too, because in my mind, this is not far walk to the dining room, but I'm not on a walker. I don't have mobility issues yet, although I probably will after starting this building. But from their perspective, the way it's designed, this would be the longest walk. So the way they've designed the halls, the elevators are in the center core, and so you really have that long walk even to your longest space. Yeah, to your longest point, and that helps me out too. Mailbox is over here. We're going to go straight through, go to memory care. I also like the design of this because if I'm bringing in someone that is eventually might be more appropriate for memory care, they really don't have to speak to it. So I've got a couple people coming in that will start in assisted living and eventually migrate into my memory care. But the bathrooms are identical. The layout is just as pretty as it is over here. But when I'm bringing them in, I don't really have to discuss the memory care component because that's the one thing no one wants to ever hear. They don't want the fear of being locked down and being in a secure area. But once you get through the doors, you really don't know that you're in a memory care. The way it's laid out is it's an exact carbon copy of each other. So you almost could split it. It's 2 living rooms, 2 dining rooms. It's 25 in total. There's 2 outdoor living spaces, 1 screened-in patio. It shows beautifully. We're going to go through here, go look at the model. And I apologize in advance, but we're going to go up 1 flight of stairs to the 2nd floor, and that's where the assisted living models are, and then we'll take the elevator back down. But just to kind of give you an idea of kind of our floor map. So there's 2 doors, but we're going to enter through this one.
Go ahead. I don't want to be under.
I'm sure Shannon's in here somewhere.
Wow.
I love it, yeah. Lots of windows, lots of open space. And a hall that's higher acuity. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that at this point because Shannon's thought process, and she's in here somewhere, she'll speak to it in a minute, was that we could almost accommodate both different types of person because no one runs the race at the same pace. So they have these fabulous pocket doors that we can shut off. So then you're running it almost like 2 separate areas. Terrible. Normally that's not supposed to happen, but yeah, you can shut these doors off and then you've got a mirror image of both. So there's 1 backyard, I've got a 2nd backyard with a screened-in porch. Everything on this hallway exits to the backyard, whereas it doesn't on this hall. So that was kind of our thought process in the beginning, was trying to keep them a little bit separate. But it's a ton of square footage for only 25 people. So that makes us happy. I like to see pictures. Cracking and breaking. I love the kitchen. Obviously the appliances will shut off, but it gives them the ability to go in if they want to do a cooking class. So it's a lot of square footage for them to utilize. You don't feel so closed in with all the windows. So that makes it very helpful. So we're going to go down this hallway where I have a model. We opened with 25 private rooms, and we have just yesterday decided to make 2 of my larger private rooms into convenience rooms. And just to kind of test the market and see how that goes. So I know I've got 2 people that are gonna deposit today on it, and if that goes well, we might open and have 8 total, just 80 rooms, we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. She might want to speak to y'all in just a second, so we'll see. But isn't it pretty? I really love the general feel of it.
Yes.
Really, it's one of my favorite spaces. Very, very pretty. Shannon, would you like to speak to memory care? Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, you showed the pocket doors.
Well, till one fell on me. No, it's off track. I'll get it.
Only because I ran memory care. The things I like about it, and I tell everybody, whether I was an ED here or not, it's a nice memory care. I mean, in Manatee County, it's probably one of the nicer memory cares. And I can say it because I know, and not only that, but I ran memory care. The thing that I like about this memory care and how they built it is, one is the pocket doors I love because running a memory care, you have your high functioning memory care residents, and then you have your residents that need a lot of more assistance. So when you're doing an activity with your high functioning residents, you always have those other residents that are coming and grabbing things, and you see staff getting frustrated, or the ED like myself is saying, why aren't you redirecting, things of that nature. So the pocket doors, I love that they built those because then you can close off and do your activities separately with your high functioning residents, and then also have staff doing activities with your other residents geared towards what they need, opposed to having interruptions with trying to do activities with your high functioning residents. The other thing I like is the setup where they put the apartments on the right side, there's 12 over here and 13 on the left side, so they separated the residents, which is good, because with memory care residents, of course, if it's too congested, then of course, then you have the resident that's, you know, punching this one or slapping this one or tripping over each other. I mean, that's everyday life with memory care. So I like the breakdown of the way that they built the apartments. The biggest thing for me is I'm an advocate for staff. I'm big on an advocate for staff because at the end of the day, the buildings are beautiful, but if you don't have staff that can run it, then I don't care what anybody says, you're not going to be a good building. So I always think of, okay, what is going to make the staff be in a good situation to make sure that they can care for the resident properly? Because that's what it's always about. The families want to make sure that their loved one's getting the shower on Tuesdays and Thursdays, making sure they're getting the care, making sure when they come in and see mom and dad, her hair is combed, you know, his shirt's on the right way, things of that nature, which, you know, some people forget that that's important when you're managing because you have to set up staff in a situation to be able to do that. And sometimes buildings, it does make it difficult. I've managed, so it does make it difficult. And that job, is, especially memory care, the job is not easy. So I like the setup of it because even for staffing wise, we talked about doing possibly high functioning on one hall, high acuity on another hall. Of course, if we fill up, we'll do what we have to do. But it makes it easier for staffing because then you know how to staff it appropriately to make sure you're giving the good care. I can tell you all how I love the beauty of the building because I love the way it's structured. But the most important thing to me is how we're going to care for the loved one. That's my most, because I'm the one who meets with the families. I'm the one when complaints happen. A lot of families around town that know me, they know that nobody's perfect, but we are definitely, the buildings that I run, we are definitely making sure we're giving the best quality care that we possibly can. And I have to make sure I'm setting up staff to be able to do that. So it's a beautiful building. Memory care, of course, they added the kitchen part, similar to some of the homes that they're in, so it looks very familiar. So my biggest thing about memory care that I love is just the floor model design of it. It's for 25 people. This is huge for 25.
So can you speak to this kitchen? So is this going to be like a prep kitchen for?
This will
the
be.
main kitchen does the meals, bring them over, and you prep them here? Or?
No, everything will be done at the main kitchen. So you guys can't see it, of course, because of the design of the building, which I think is great. So there's a back hall that's closed off. So everyday people that come in, family, you'll never see that. So there's basically a straight hallway from the main kitchen to theirs. That Chef Gary will do all the food here, and then he preps it, he plates it, he does everything, because of course you never want line staff doing that. And then it will come directly here. Back there is a satellite kitchen with a steam table, but everything will be done in the main kitchen and brought here. The benefit of this is, one, you can do activities. Two is, in memory care, a lot of times, of course when you're doing snacks, and I only can tell you the back end of it from being in the ED, is that sometimes they'll say, okay, we're about the snacks for the residents. The thing about it is that you can keep a lot of that stuff here that's convenient. So for instance, if you have the resident that sometimes, you know, like I had a resident, you always had to give them a banana or something, you can do all of that little stuff that is important right here without having to trail back and forth and
do you have this, or have, everything is convenient right here, but the main meals will be brought in here, yes. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns, any? What do you think? Did you show them on that side as well?
Beautiful.